What's up, guys? Matocaster here, and today we're back in Car Mechanic Simulator 2021. Just can't get enough of this game. Really enjoying it, and enjoying being back in it. That being said, we had some good luck in the barn find last time. Let's head back to the barns and see what we can find. And here we are in our barn today. This is a big one. This is a big old barn. Just kind of poke around a little bit. See what we can find. Not seeing any cars yet. Except that. This is a Mustang Mach. Yeah, Mach 1. Whoa. This, oh, it's even got the shaker hood modeled in. How about that? Okay, yeah, this is definitely a barn find. That looks so good. Yeah, looking around, I don't see anything else, but I don't really want anything else. I want this Mustang Mach 1. The color is absolutely perfect. That is a gorgeous car. Let's see, I didn't even check how much they want for it. Yep. Oh, it's the Twister Special, even better. And they want 86,378 for a Mach 1 Twister Special. That's coming home with us. Yep, accept. Let's take that to the garage. I believe our beautiful Mach 1 has arrived, and indeed it has, in all of its dusty, dirty glory. Absolutely gorgeous car. Doesn't look like a ton is missing at all. Let's get this thing cleaned up, take it over to the car wash, and see what we're working with. Oh yeah, much better. Love the Twister Special decal. That is just so cool. This is just incredible. Absolutely incredible. We got the 428 right there on the hood, the shaker hood, the beautiful shaker hood. I love these louvered rear glass, the rear glass cover. Always thought that was a cool touch on these. All right, enough drooling over it. Let's get it into the garage and get going. Up on the lift it goes. See if we got anything underneath that needs attention. Seems like I've been having good luck with cars that arrive with no oil pans. So we'll see if that's what we're working with under here. And there it is. Once again, no oil pan whatsoever. So no point in trying to fire this thing up. We were going to rebuild it all anyways. And I think this time maybe we should throw some performance parts in it. So let's start pulling apart the drivetrain here and get that drive shaft out of the way. Guys, it has been pointed out to me in my videos, why don't you just do the cheat code? You unlock a lot of XP and a lot of money. Well, I dig the grind. I really do dig the grind. Always have in the Car Mechanic Simulator games. Don't even have a starter either, do we? So yeah, that's why I don't do that. Thanks for pointing it out. I've known about it. It's just not something that half the reason I love these games is the grindiness of them. So that would be why I haven't used that. All right, let's get this clutch pressure plate off of here. Very exciting to have a classic car again. I know a few people have asked, well, go back to doing a classic car and some of my more modern vehicles that I've done lately. I've just been on a roll of modern vehicles for whatever reason. I kind of just buy whatever, I get excited about. And it's usually the first thing I find. I'm like, oh, I gotta have that. I gotta have that. So that's pretty much why. It's nothing against the classic cars. I love doing them just as much as the regular. So it looks like we got the exhaust removed and we're ready to pull this engine out and see what we're working with. This beautiful 428 shaker. Probably gotta pull that off. Yep, pull that out. Go get the engine crane. Let's see. We get in trouble for anything. Nothing. We got it pulled out. No problem at all. And we'll go put it on our engine stand. And there it is. Pretty crusty. Pretty crusty indeed. Let's start pulling this thing apart by taking the rod caps out to get to the pistons, which we'll eventually get to once we tear down the top of the engine. Just doing it a little bit different this time. Figure do it a little different every time so that way it's not so repetitive and so boring. This one has 2 stuck bolts. There we go. Get those out of the way, and then we can start working on pulling apart the front of the engine. I'll flip this thing back around. Fan is off. We get our serpentine belt, that belt, and then this belt. Pull off our water pump pulley to be able to pull off our water pump. Looks like a lot of this stuff will probably be pretty repairable. I don't know if I'm gonna go crazy with the performance parts stuff. Definitely don't want to break the bank, but at the same time, you do get more money back with the performance enhancements like that. So there is something to be said about going all in on it, but You don't want to make something that's overly horsepower, like just undrivable. But we will definitely have some fun with this one for sure. Definitely want to do a carburetor, pistons, lightweight pistons, stuff like that. All that fun stuff. Get up here to the distributor. Pull off that clip. It actually has both clips. Oftentimes, at least one of those is missing. Get our rotor out of here. Then we can get the distributor out of the way. Should be able to pull that cam. And indeed we are. Let's pull off the head over here. Well, let's grab that fuel filter. There we go. Pull off the valve cover here to get to expose the valve train. A few stuck bolts here, nothing crazy. There, that comes off. And then individual rockers and individual push rods. Won't make you sit through all of this. And that is our final one right there. Now we can pull our spark plugs. That one was really dirty. It'd be cool if you could check the gaps and like check how the spark plug, if it's wet or if it's, of course this has been sitting for so long. But that would be cool to see implemented at some point. All that fun stuff. Get this stuck bolt out. There you go. And then the header comes off. We should be able to remove the intake before we move the head. Working ahead of myself. Not the first time. Pull the bolt out. Get this disgusting filter off of here. Filter base. A carburetor that looks actually pretty decent, but with 2 stuck bolts on it. There we go. Get that one, that one, and there. Now we can remove our intake manifold to be able to remove our head. And off it comes. There goes the head, and we'll see how many stuck bolts. There's 2 right there. Yeah, and that's it. Only 2 stuck bolts on this one. And off it comes to expose a decent looking piston. One that's got a little bit of an issue here and 2 covered in carbon buildup. On to tear down the other side. And kind of the same story on this side too, with a lot of carbon buildup, and well, those 2 don't look too bad at all. Let's get these out of here. Grab that one, that one. That one was at 56%, so it was a little worn out. Flip on over to the other side. It just didn't look too bad. See what these are. That one's at 11%. That was shot. 52%. Oh, I'm looking at the rings. Okay, piston is 46% on that one. And this one that doesn't look too bad is 59%. Still pretty rough. We'll get that oil filter out of here, and we should be able to remove the crankshaft. And indeed we are. And we can now pull the block that is completely torn down and ready for me to repair what I can and replace what I can't. Maybe buy a few little speed parts. Now here's where I'm going to play this mini game for quite a while and start repairing what I can. I did end up buying quite a bit of performance stuff, actually, to be honest. Camshaft for sure is one of them. Didn't go for the heads, but pretty much I think just about everything else is performance upgrade. Figured, let's just go for it. See what kind of horsepower we'll make. We're not going to make a ton of it, you know. We're limited by what this engine is, but we'll make a bunch of it, I'm sure. Seems like it. If any car was deserved of a little extra, I think it would be this one here. Absolutely. Love these old Mach 1s. No doubt about it. So it is getting a nice little treatment here of some of the performance stuff. Get this timing chain in. And then we can put on our timing cover. But yeah, I didn't splurge for everything, but most of it, to be honest. Water pump here. Then we should be able to mount our harmonic balancer. There we go. Get that on there. There's some, you see there's some parts left over. That's left over from the previous video, the Rowdy Burns cup car that I forgot to clear out my inventory, which I'm now realizing. So that's why you see so much of that there. Get the fan on here, but no harm, no foul. You know why it's there. Put in our pistons, our performance upgrade. Oh, these are dark. See, I haven't really bought any performance stuff yet on 2021. This is kind of the first little splurge in doing it. Get our head cover here, or head on here. This was the only thing that I didn't do performance-wise. But we will in the future. In the future, we'll do a car where we throw everything at it. I kind of have an idea in my mind of which particular car I'd like to do that to. It's just a matter of when we will ever come across it. Hopefully sooner than later. Get all these push rods and individual rockers in. There we go. We get the head valve cover on there. Tighten all these down. Then we can put on our exhaust manifold. Headers to me, they look like. Then I did go for a performance spark plug, so we've got 1 and 2, 3, and 4 of those. Now that is that side built out, hop on over to the others. Now onto our intake manifold performance. That is nice and shiny, that's for sure. Polished out real nice. And our performance carburetor, that looks so good with the anodized red. Our filter base plate, I'm surprised that was savable. That thing was in really bad shape, but somehow it was repaired. We got our performance filter, and then got that there. And that will be that for that part of it. The upper part will get the ignition. You could tell I was excited that I was thinking that the engine was done, and then I just came to realize that I hadn't done any of the ignition wiring. We got to attach the pistons to the rods to the crankshaft, right? Would have been exciting to try to start the car with none of that connected. Get these on here. Get our crankshaft bearing caps on here. Then we'll be able to mount our oil pan. Oil pan goes on. Then it's complete. There we go. Now we can take the engine off the engine stand and go put it in our beautiful Mach 1. And in it goes. There it is. It looks really good with all that red performance stuff there. Let's put on our engine cover there. We got a new one. So that one was at 83, not bad, but figure. Go ahead and go for the new one. Yeah, to be able to hit our 100%. And that looks really good. Now we can move this back to where it came from and move on to, let's take care of the under the hood stuff. I know there's some stuff missing here, and it looks like we've got some fuses and relays over here to take care of. Might as well get this all sorted out while we're up here doing the work. We got our power steering reservoir as well as our brake servo in there, our battery over here, and we can put our windshield washer reservoir there and install our radiator right there. Now we can jump over to these relays and fuses, get everything installed here that needs to be. Fuse box cover here, and I believe that's all we need for that. Not bad at all. Wonder if we should go ahead and do the fluids. Yeah, might as well. We're here. Brake fluid going in. In goes power steering. Fill up our radiator, as well as our washer reservoir. And last but certainly not least, engine oil. Everything under the hood looks to be complete. Time to lift it on up and get onto the suspension. This is one crusty rim here. Let's see how it's looking under here. Not horrible, not as bad as we've seen before. That's for certain. We'll get this bolt unstuck. Brake pad out of here. Brake disc, the wheel hub cap, and the wheel hub bearing that can move on to the wheel hub. Get that one undone. Off it comes, front knuckle cover. Then we can go for our upper suspension arm. That will let us move on to the shock assembly here. Get that undone, as well as our sway bar front end link. Out. There it goes. Outer tie rod. No problem. Inner tie rod. Lower suspension arm. A lot of this stuff looks repairable as well. And we've got our steering knuckle. That is it. Pulled apart. Onto the rear. Another pretty rough looking rim here. Poor neglected Mach 1. We got our drum brake back here. This is all accurate. Brake shoe. Cylinder there. Pull out our solid axle here. Get that out. There we go. And pull off the cover there. And our shock absorber. And our tried and true simple leaf spring setup with our U-bolts and our U-bolt plate. Right there. Come on. There it goes. And now we can remove. Well, we got to get the rubber bushings out. Right there. Get the other one down here. There she is. Pull that one out. And then the leaf spring is ready to drop on out. And get that in there. Okay. That's it, guys. Time to rebuild. The suspension will start with the cross member here. And then this one has, of course, the rubber bushings. Right there. We've got 4 of them. A little tricky to get to sometimes when you're from one side to another. There, they're all in now. And you might ask, why don't I just wait and do the other side when I get over there? Because 8 times out of 10, I'd say I forget about it. Because I think, well, I already did those. And totally miss it. Then I have to wonder, why isn't the car at 100%? So I figured, just take care of it while I'm thinking about it and while I'm doing it. We get the wheel hub cap in. Brake pads. Oh, we need to put together our, just now hit me. Put together our shock assemblies. There we go, got those taken care of. Now we'll be able to mount those. Don't want to run without those. Get that lower arm in. Now we can put in our shock assembly, just like that. And we can go to our upper suspension arm here. In total, I think it was 12 rubber bushings for this one. We got the smaller rubber bushings for the rear. Get the caliper in. Got to get our front sway bar in, as well as our steering rack. That'll come in handy. Get our inner tie rod and outer. Right there. There you are. Bolt you down and we can take care of the sway bar front end link. And that is the front done. Onto the rear. Mount our axle housing there. There we go. Get that there. The rear shock absorber worked probably from the inside out. Makes it a lot more simple, in my opinion. The rear leaf spring plate. Not as much stuff in the way when you do it that way. One U-bolt and the other. All nice, new, shiny parts. I always get a kick out of that. This being the Twister Special, would have the drag pack, suspension, and all that cool stuff. It was a really cool car. It was a really cool option for the Mach 1. Very rare car. I think I was reading not long ago, they recently discovered one. And it looked a lot like this one did. Same color, looked a lot like this one did in the beginning. It was in a, like, all crusty barn dust all over it and everything. Alrighty. Yep, that is the suspension done. You know what? I almost forgot it. You guys probably caught it. Almost forgot the small rubber bushings in the leaf springs. Got those taken care of. Okay, that is that side of the suspension done. On to the other side. We got the wheel tire combo going on, mounted and balanced, and they look perfect. I did go with some slicks on this just because of the horsepower we'll be putting out. It had just been roasting standard street tires. This will be more of a track day car anyways, so went with the slicks. Let's get our drivetrain all hooked up, shall we? We got our performance flywheel, performance clutch, and pressure plate. Performance as well. And if you're curious, I did get a performance fuel pump. Put in the tank back there. We got our regular old clutch release plate. Our gearbox here, which I don't know if it's going to be up to the task of handling the power. We might have to go with an adjustable gearbox. Probably will, actually. You know what? I'm just going to be proactive about it. Grab it now instead of having to tear it all back down, because I know this gearbox is not going to be able to handle what we're going to be throwing at it. There we go. We got our performance. Nice new gearbox right there. That's gonna come in very handy, because then we'll be able to tune the gear ratios and everything that are going to be up to handling this kind of horsepower and what we're going to be, and the torque that we're going to be throwing at it, be able to handle it better than the stock one would. Probably would have topped out immediately and then just been bouncing off the rev limiter for the majority of the time we put any kind of speed to it. So let's get our muffler system going, our exhaust system. All of this is performance as well. Get as much flow as we can. Right there, we got our middle mufflers. And then way back here, there we go. We get our performance rear mufflers. There's one, and here is the other. Exhaust complete. Now it's time to move on to the body. See how some of this stuff is. This probably needs some repairing. Again, we're so close to level 15 to be able to repair the body stuff, but doesn't look like we're gonna be getting there on this car. Very, very close though. Should be the next car, I think. We'll take the welder to it, fix anything that might be hidden structurally, make it structurally sound again, get it to 100%. Welder is done. You can go back. And while we're at it, let's just go ahead with the interior cleaner. Clean all that interior out. Yep. Get that all nice. Time to assemble the body back. And we've got just boring old black right now. So we will have to go back into the paint, obviously. Because, again, not level 15, can't repair body panels yet. So we'll have to go into the paint booth and pick our livery. Maybe there'll be a different livery. But I do love the Twister special livery for sure. Just got to get all these parts back on where they belong. At least it'll all be 100%. Now I should say, as I'm doing all this, this is, I should have mentioned it earlier, this is another one of the Pain or Dead Bob 777, one of his mods. I use a lot of his because I think they're some of the best for Car Mechanic Simulator, the whole series really. So yeah, check out in the description his Patreon. I linked it there. You can get access to mods early. There we go. Get the front end. I know I'm missing a few things up here. No, he doesn't pay me to say that or anything like that. If you guys are curious, I just want to help the guy out. Yeah, I don't have the necessary parts. Help the guy out because he's helped us out quite a bit. Is that car part 2? Okay, yeah. I had that part. There we go. Now we can mount the headlights. And that should be it. Went with sunny California for plates this time. Actually, that's what came on it. And I was like, I'll just use what came on it. And realizing now I forgot the clips for the distributor cap. Go figure. Not the first time, it won't be the last either. And this right here, this is even modeled in. The Twister Special had these twisting type hood locks instead of the hood pins that came on the other Mach ones. That's very cool that that's even modeled in. Time to send this thing. Actually, let's take care of the alignment and all that stuff. And there we go. These headlights were way off. And get him down in there. There we go. Good and aligned. Oh, there's a very cool Boss 302 livery set. That's cool. We got another one in yellow for different colors. A lot of Boss 302. That's cool. Boss 429. Oh, there's this cool retro looking Mach 1. There's so many. I'm already at 18 different liveries. Oh, this is cool. It's like a racing livery. Like vintage racing. I'm already at 34. 34 different liveries for this car. Unbelievable. So yeah, in total, there's 36. That's incredible. But I love the Twister Special. Gotta go with that. And here it is. Absolutely gorgeous. Looks so good. Paint the car. And here we go. The factory horsepower is 335 and the torque was 445. Let's see what kind of difference we can make here with our upgrades. And the survey says 461 horsepower, 685 foot-pound of torque. I guess I didn't really need the slicks, but it's a nice improvement for sure. It looks so good. I absolutely love this. I've always thought the Twister Special was a very cool car. That's why I was so attached to keeping this particular livery than trying something different. Let's sit inside and check out the interior. It's just so good. Another home run by Dead Bob 777 / Pain. So good. Okay, well, it's time to drive it for sure. And here we are at the speed track. I'm just backing up a little bit to give myself as much room as possible. Might as well. All right, let's go for it. Oh, it does get up and go. It even chirped the slicks, which, man, that's impressive. Okay, we are at 100 and that's exactly what I thought. I figured we were gonna need some transmission tuning. So far, 152, and we weren't even, I think that was like halfway down the track. So let's tune that a little bit. Okay, we tuned our transmission a little bit here in the dyno and tuning room. Let's take it back out and see what we can do. Okay, temp number 2. And we're up and going. It's got a lot of torque. I mean, it just gets up and goes. A little bit of body roll there. Now we're in 5th gear. I added a 6-speed. We are up to 180, 190, 200 miles an hour, 205, 206, and we're gonna have to shut it down. Oh man, the brakes pull to the right. They pull to the right. And we had a little bit left. Let's spin it around and see if we can't beat it. Oh. Tried to get some speed out. Tried to use a little speed and kicked right out from under me. See, what I was trying to do was come around here, use a little momentum while coming out on the track. But instead it just kicked it out. That time I held on to it. Alright, here we go. 170, 180, 190. Oh, squirrely. 191. Yeah, that's not helping us out at all. And we Mustanged it. Little off-road. Why not? 2. Can we get to 210? 2. Oh, gotta hit the brakes. And pay no attention to that. We got 209. 209 is fair. 209 works. That's impressive for a 70s muscle car. That's for sure. An early 70s muscle car. Well, I guess early 70s they had more power than they did throughout the mid and late 70s, so yeah. It's still donuts. Even with the slicks, very nice. It'll do a J-turn. Trying to drift it a little bit, but it just doesn't like it with the slicks. They're just a little too grippy. You get a little bit of something, but then it quickly goes away. Man, this is a fun car. Fun, gorgeous car, nonetheless. Alright, that's enough of that. Let's head back to the garage. Now, one of you pointed out to me that I got to take it back and wash it again after going out because that takes some of the money off. It's not at 100% anymore or something. So, figure I'll give it a go. It doesn't hurt, right? So this is it. Our beautiful Mach 1 Twister Special. 100% across the board. Time to sell it and see what kind of profit we make. 119,923. I'll take it. Absolutely. And that's not to mention what we'll sell in our inventory. I'll go ahead and take care of that. Just made another $14,219. That is a major win. We are now at $432,246 to be able to hopefully buy some pretty cool stuff. Still, the Bugattis, the things like that are a little out of reach, but we're working our way there. We're getting there. And it should be up to level 15 for the next video. Be able to hit level 15 next video. That is the goal. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. This was a fun one. I loved that Mach 1. That was a lot of fun. Would have kept it, but we've got to buy more cars, flip more cars, have some fun, unlock the auction, which will be huge. That's what we'll need some big money is for the auction as well. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. If you made it this far into the video, please consider giving it a like. It really helps the channel out. Lets me know that you care. Guys, thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next one.